What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol GOEV for Canoo Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, yes, this of course will be an update. What you'll notice about this chart, though, is that it's perfectly respecting our technical levels. Look at this one notably. Touch here again, and it really led to the breakout on today's session. So really love that from a technical perspective. Also topping out at an area of resistance. Now, granted, it went a little bit higher, but overall, respecting some of these levels that we had mapped out. Based on today's session, of course, the elephant in the room is the fact that they're going to be ramping up production, I believe, was the catalyst. Let's just double check that here. And where did that say? Accelerate the advanced manufacturing production in the U.S. before Q4. Okay, so that's basically the news that sent prices higher. We are looking for momentum play here. If you check in on volume down below, obviously it is greatly increased. And of course, we had earnings to sort of push that as a catalyst higher, paired with that guidance of course, increasing their advanced manufacturing, as we just mentioned. So we are looking for upside continuation to get us into those highs closer to 12. Now, what stands in the way of that? Really, this area right here. It's about 50% of the range, and we should throw it on our charts now that we have some of these upside targets unlocked here. So 11 will stand in the way. So please be aware of that if we see momentum continuation early on here. If we take a look at what's going on in the after hours, let's go ahead and just take a look here. So you'll see momentum continuation is already underway, and we did sort of top out right at that 11 round number. So that's technically the overnight high. If we break it and volume really wants to support the move, as we know, a dollar move is available to the upside. Now, if we roll over, look for the gap to fill essentially to today's high. It's not actually at this 1020 area, but that would be the area I would watch for support, noting that, again, it's more of an important daily zone right here. Also, in the post market, we pulled back into it and then ran into that 11 round number. So to me, 1022 is the number to be watching for any sort of pullback move. Again, on something like this, we talked about this when we were looking at Fisker. It's not really a play where I would put into motion the true gap rules, right? Where, if we fail to take out the overnight high, trade short back through the open to fill the gap. It's really not one of those instances based on the nature of what's going on here, where we are in relationship to the range, as well as what's happening with volume. And again, this being more of a momentum style play into the after hours and continuing higher here. So those are my thoughts. You have the upside targets mapped out. You have the downside here at 1022. If it really breaks down, what I would encourage you to pay attention to is let's turn that back off. Let's take a closer look at today's range. Obviously, it was an expansion of range. So as we always do, let's take out the fibs from low to high of the first move, obviously never coming into the 38.2. And if we come all the way on up to this, what you'll notice is that we respected the 50% mark, kind of chopped around the 38.2. For me, it's really just all about structure. So let's go ahead and remove that so we can see more clearly. Grab the other tool. I would point out that prior resistance, this breakout point just underneath 1022 at 1003 is the next area to pay attention to. So any pullbacks, again, that fail at that 11 mark and get us to here, that's where I would start to look out for, okay, can we print a hammer off of this? Are we going to essentially remain inside of the upper 30-ish% of today's range, put in some sort of bull flag here, and then break out, which should ultimately take us into that 12 round number. Anything underneath 927 is your line in the sand. If we're truly making forward and upward progress, we really do not want to come back down inside of this overall range from in here. Notice how big of an area of resistance it has been for some time. That would essentially put into play a break and retest, hoping for something like this. If it fails, that's where, again, things probably get ugly here inside of Canoo. So 927, line in the sand, ultimately sort of last-ditch effort here in the stock. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.